Imagine this, you're stranded in the desert. The sun is scorching hot, the sand stretches out to an endless horizon, and your water bottle is completely empty. It feels like a hopeless situation, right? Most people would think it's impossible to survive here. But I'm here to tell you that with the right knowledge, you absolutely can make it out alive. In this video, I'm going to break down the essential steps you need to take to survive in the desert when you have no water. The very first rule, and the most important one, is don't panic. Panicking leads to bad decisions. Running around frantically or trying to find your way out too quickly will only burn precious energy and make you sweat profusely. And what is sweat? It's water leaving your body. In the desert, survival is a game of conservation. It's all about slowing down. Every movement should be deliberate and careful. If you can find any shade at all, rest there. Every single drop of sweat you save is a drop of life you're holding on to. Remember, slow and steady wins this race. Now let's talk about your biggest enemy out here, the sun. The desert sun is absolutely brutal, especially between late morning, say around 10 a.m., and late afternoon around 4 p.m. This is the peak heat of the day, and you must avoid traveling during this time. Your mission is to find shade. It doesn't have to be a cave. Even a large rock or a small, scraggly bush can offer enough protection to make a significant difference. You should save all your movement for the early morning or the evening when the temperatures are much cooler. Think of the desert as a place where timing is everything. Moving at the right time is just as crucial as knowing where to go. So, how do you protect yourself from that heat? Shelter is your first line of defense. You lose water through heat exposure much faster than you feel thirst. Your immediate priority is to get out of the direct sunlight. Use what the environment gives you. Huddle behind rocks, crouch on the shady side of a dune, or even dig a shallow pit in the sand to lie in. This can lower the temperature around you by several degrees. And what about clothing? It might seem counterintuitive, but you should cover your skin instead of exposing it. Long, loose-fitting clothes actually help keep you cooler by creating a layer of air between your skin and the fabric, and they drastically slow down the rate of dehydration by preventing sweat from evaporating too quickly. Okay, you've conserved energy and found shelter. Now for the million-dollar question, where is the water? Water in the desert is incredibly rare, but it's not impossible to find. You need to become a detective and look for signs of life. Birds flying in a straight line at dawn or dusk are often heading to or from a water source. Look for animal tracks converging into a single trail. Green vegetation, no matter how sparse, is a massive clue. These are nature's signposts pointing you toward water. Dry riverbeds, known as wadis or arroyos, are also promising spots. Water flows underground long after the surface is dry. Find the lowest point of a bend in the riverbed and start digging. If you hit damp sand, you've struck liquid gold. You can squeeze the water out of this sand with a piece of cloth or let it collect in your hole. Besides looking for existing sources, you can also collect water from the environment. Rain is a gift in the desert, and if it comes, you need to be ready. Use any clothing, plastic, or containers you have to catch every single drop. But what if it doesn't rain? You can build a solar still. It sounds complicated, but it's simple. Dig a hole, place a container in the center, and cover the hole with a piece of plastic. Then place a small weight in the middle of the plastic, right over your container. The sun will heat the ground, causing moisture to evaporate and condense on the underside of the plastic. Because of the weight, the condensation will drip down into your container. It's a slow process, but even a few sips of water can be the difference between life and death. A common question is, what about food? You might think finding food is important, but in a desert survival situation, water is everything. Hear us a critical fact: eating dry food without having water will actually make you more dehydrated. Your body uses water to digest food, so you'll be pulling precious moisture from your system just to process that meal. Only eat if you have a reliable water source and enough to spare for digestion. Survival is all about setting priorities, and in the desert, your one and only priority is hydration. Everything else comes second. If you've determined you need to move to find help, you have to travel smart. As we covered, only walk during the cool hours of dawn or dusk. Rest during the intense heat of the day. When you do move, try to get to higher ground periodically to scout the landscape. This can help you spot potential water sources or signs of civilization without exhausting yourself on major climbs. Always be on the lookout for roads, power lines, fences, or any other signs of human activity. The desert might seem empty and endless, but people have lived and traveled through these environments for thousands of years. There are always clues left behind if you know what to look for. Finally, let's talk about mental survival. The desert is not just a physical challenge. It's a psychological one. The isolation, the oppressive heat, and the endless, unchanging landscape can play tricks on your mind. You might see mirages that look like lakes, or the profound silence can start to feel deafening. The feeling of hopelessness can be powerful enough to break your will to survive. This is where your mental fortitude comes in. You have to stay calm. Don't think about the entire journey home. Focus on small, achievable goals. Your goal for the next hour is just to find shade. Your next goal is to dig a hole. Your next goal is to rest until sunset. Each tiny step you take towards survival reinforces your willpower and significantly increases your chances of being rescued. So let's recap the key points. Conserve your energy at all costs. Avoid the midday sun like the plague. Protect your body with shelter and proper clothing. Search methodically for signs of water. And only travel when it's cool. In the desert, every single choice you make matters. One small mistake can have dire consequences, but the right decisions, one after another, will carry you to safety. Thanks for watching. If you found this guide helpful, please don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more survival tips and real-life adventure guides. Stay safe out there.